Welcome to the Seed Creative Podcast, the podcast where we discuss both video production and just life in general. The goal of this podcast is the same as the goal of our business, to make a difference in people's lives. Hello and welcome to the Seed Creative Podcast. This week, it's me, George Edmondson, and my co-host, Nick Golden.
Nick Golden. Hello.
Golden boy. We thought we'd do something a little bit different today, so Nick and I are going to be watching and just kind of discussing, analyzing, breaking down some of the different videos that we have done for one of our absolute favorite clients, MotionVFX.com.
Yeah, we can't pick favorites, but it's really fun to work for them.
We can't pick favorites, but they're our favorite client. So anyway, we are, like I said, we're going to discuss some of the videos that we've done for them. This is sort of a hybrid reaction video podcast, gear breakdown, idea, concept breakdown, stuff like that. But before we get started, for our video listeners, you can see this, but for our audio only people, you need to understand that we are we're showcasing probably the ultimate the ultimate teamwork in today's podcast, because I, with my right hand, am using the magic trackpad to control the mouse on the M1, and
I have the keyboard. This is something we came up with 5 minutes ago, but I have complete control.
So here's the reason why. For our video people, they can see, but audio people, we would have to like reach way out to touch the computer, and we would knock the microphone.
And we're really lazy.
And it won't work. So I can't reach it.
Yeah, we just didn't want to go through the trouble.
My arms aren't long enough.
So we thought it would be less trouble to split up the things.
Yeah, and it took us a lot longer than it should have to get this set up.
Yeah, probably 45 minutes working on this. Anyway.
And can I just go ahead and say this podcast was thrown together last minute because someone named Jacob overslept.
Yeah,
but he had
what
a good
jerk.
reason. He didn't get home until almost 4 a.m. and I told him, just stay home. We can do this podcast without you. So again, we're just going to be breaking down these amazing, fun videos that we get to do for MotionVFX. And I will say that we are coming up soon on 1 full year of doing videos for them.
Should we give a brief preface on what MotionVFX is?
Sure.
For people that
So
don't know?
MotionVFX.com is the leader in Final Cut Pro and Motion 5 templates and plugins. They create incredible tools, and they're someone that I have been a fan of, and I've been using their products, I mean, pretty much ever since I started video creation with Final Cut Pro almost, 6 or 7 years ago. And I don't know, man, we somehow landed them as someone that we get to do business with on a literally at this point almost a daily basis. We're having some kind of communication.
The thing that's really cool about working for MotionVFX is the fact that because we work for them, they have given us the gift, and all of us at Seed have gotten this, of having access to all of their library for free, as long as we work for them, I'm assuming.
Sure.
And it is super cool. I know personally I've used lots of different stuff from them, and we have found application for it in literally everything that we do.
Every single video we do, whether it's a MotionVFX video or a client video.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're using MotionVFX plugins, and this podcast is not sponsored.
No.
They don't even know that we're doing this.
We'll probably send it to them.
Yeah, we'll definitely send it to them to show our appreciation, because we love working with MotionVFX. They are awesome, and you should check them out because they're great. And I was making videos about MotionVFX and telling people to go to their website way before I ever thought I'd get to start working with them.
But if we ever, one thing that we talk about a lot is that we never sell anything that we don't believe in, like our videos and stuff.
Very true.
In MotionVFX, we fully believe in, and we use everything that we make a tutorial for. We use every day. So it's not like we're advertising what we actually believe.
Absolutely.
And that's super cool, I think. So
Yeah, so we're going to dive right in. So the first thing I want to say, I've done many tutorials about MotionVFX.com in the past before I was even on their radar. They didn't know who I was or anything. I just love their product. And one of the ones that I did that actually kind of started getting their attention was one that I did for a plugin that they have called MPuppet. And I did this tutorial because I was creating these live 2.5D animations for a documentary that we did, which we ended up winning an Emmy for. And we have made it a goal to talk about the documentary in as many podcasts as possible. So, but they started getting, I started getting their attention, and then I ended up getting the opportunity to be a beta tester for one of their newest plugins called M-Tracker 3D.
huge deal.
Which is a big deal. And that plugin, what it does is it creates essentially a 3D fake camera within your scene, and you can pair that into your regular scene. And for video people, you know what I'm talking about. And so you can put objects into your scene that weren't actually there. So you can put 3D objects, text, just, different things like that. And it looks as though, if you spend enough time with it, as though it were there all along.
Not only in Motion, but in Final Cut, which is insane, because anything else you'd have to do it in After Effects or something like that, but it's built into your regular NLE.
Yeah,
it's going to be a super nerdy podcast.
Yeah,
I can already
this
tell.
is so nerdy. So when I was a beta tester, I got to do some testing and mess around, and I did a video that I believe, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I found an application for this tracker that they had not even thought about or considered, and that is, instead of putting a 3-dimensional object in 2-dimensional space, which is what M-Tracker 3D does. It's taking your 2D visuals from your camera, creating a 3-dimensional camera and fake camera, and it adds 3D objects in there. If you invert that, you could put a 2-dimensional object in a 3-dimensional space. So that's backwards from the intent. And you do this by using, obviously, a green screen, and you put yourself or whatever you want inside of that 3-dimensional space, which has that camera. Anyway, super nerdy, but that's the first video that I did that really got their attention and opened the dialogue between me and the founder of MotionVFX, Simon. And eventually, we did 1 or 2 videos, and he was like, we had a meeting, and he said, I want to hire your whole team, which was game-changing, because when I first talked to him, I thought it was going to be just George is doing this on the side, and he had bigger plans and bigger vision, and was like, no.
I'll never forget you calling me and telling me about that. That was like mind blowing.
So excited.
Yeah.
So, because we love, it's not like, okay, yes, we get to, they pay us for our time and we get the plugins, blah, blah, blah. That is exciting. But what's more exciting is, dude, I love MotionVFX.
Yeah.
They're so good. And
we
so
would say this if we weren't hired by them. 100%.
Yeah.
All the plugins that we used already before that
were MotionVFX.
Yeah.
And so it was like, they're literally a dream client for a super big nerd and dork like me. And Nick was just like, are you serious? Like, we had no idea what the outcome of that conversation was going to be.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, like, no, they want to hire it so that, you can come and film, and we can set lights up, and it's not just quote unquote tutorials. They want us to do like production.
Yeah. It's insane. It's sick for even just a 1-minute video every time. Anyway,
we're finally getting to the reaction side of this. We are going to show you the video, and if you're just listening, I apologize.
We'll describe
it as best as we can, but we're going to get to show you some of those intros, and we're going to discuss them. So here we go. We have been screen recording this whole time. Here is our first video. Yes, M-Tracker 3D, you can put 3D objects in space, but what if you kind of invert it and you put a 2D object in a 3D object in space?
George, you're a great actor.
It works!
We took about 30 takes to get this.
Dancing in the catacombs.
Yeah, this started a song that we all would have stuck in our head for months, which was he started singing "Dancing in the Catacombs."
I did. I wish we might still have the raw footage somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe. Anyway, so let's break this down. So for our audio people only, there is a split or a dual screen here of the shot. It's showing on the left-hand side, I am just standing, and we've got a green screen, and we kind of matched the lighting as best we could to a 3D object that we imported as a USDZ model in Motion 5 of the catacombs. And again, we looked at the lighting in there and we tried to match the lighting, and literally the camera is just kind of walking around, and it did a really good job of being able to place me inside of that 3D object. And it looks like I'm standing. If you didn't know any better, and if we added a few more filters and maybe messed with the blur of the background, just little things like that, you would literally think I was standing inside the catacombs.
Yeah, it was proof of concept. It wasn't. Once we got it to work, we didn't nitpick as hard as we would.
No, I immediately sent it to MotionVFX.
Because we wanted to show them like this is what it can do. And we spent a long time on this. We spent, I'm pretty sure, 2 entire days trying to get this to work.
Yeah, and the whole deal is I knew it would work. I was like, I know that this will work. And the first one that we did was, I mean, honestly, really close to this, but it was like not quite perfect. So we're like, all right, let's figure this out. And then we realized, honestly, and we had even we did another tutorial with this with like green screen trackers, and that was a good idea and that worked. But what I found out, honestly, is I think we had better results with this one than even the one I did a tutorial on. And here's why. Oh my God, this is so nerdy. I'm just realizing how nerdy this is. Okay, so the reason the M-Tracker 3D works so well is because it's not doing just like planar tracking. It is doing full 3D tracking, and it's taking into account the parallax, which is the movement of the background in relation to objects in the foreground, and that's helping it calculate how much three-dimensional space there is. And so the reason that this one worked better is because, as you can see, especially in the beginning, on the side of the green screen, you can see the edges of the studio. And as we move forward, I'm going to hit play. Yes, M-Tracker 3D, you can put 3D objects. You see there are light stands right here on the left-hand side. There's a light stand on the right-hand side. And I believe that was enough for M-Tracker 3D to understand in relation foreground to background, this is the 3D space here. And that's why it worked even better than using trackers.
And we kind of, I'm going to say we stumbled into this realization the first time. We knew very quickly this is what it was doing, but the way we didn't set this up intentionally is that we set it up as, well, as long as all of George's is behind green and all the lights match, it should look good. Yeah.
So with all that said, I believe that this video is really what got us to start working with MotionVFX. Yeah. And they did not pay us for this. This is so super important for business people to listen to, but also video people. This was something that I spent my own money on creating because I believed that it would work. And I knew if I put forth the investment in time and money, paying these guys to help me and everything, that it was going to pay off, and it did.
Not to mention, I mean, not to get too nitty gritty, but 2 days of our time editing and all of that, it took, I mean, this is only, 15 or so seconds long, but it took a lot of work, especially because it was a beta software, which is, and it was really good beta software, but they have improved it even more since every update they come out with is game changing. So, so we put in a lot of effort, and that was,
So then after that, literally the next video is the first video that we were actually under contracted to do. And I will say that this video is something that I sent them a sample of that I had done, and then they came back to me and gave me like a way better hologram because I just made like a crappy hologram myself, and they are way better at this stuff than I did. So this next video is the first video that we were actually like fully working with and for MotionVFX on. Hello, greetings from the future. Today I'm going to show you how to track a hologram. I love the music in this one. Over a phone or a tablet in Motion 5 or Final Cut Pro using MotionVFX's brand new M-Tracker 3D plugin. Let's get started.
The one thing that you'll notice in all of these for M-Tracker 3D is that there's a lot of like intentional slight shakiness and movement, because that's how it tracks. For those of you who don't know, it uses all of that, adds a little bit of extra detail for it. So that's what we were doing with that one. Yeah,
so it actually, and I mean, it tracks wonderfully no matter, but we have found that like if you want that track to just be sticky, you want it to stick on the ground, a little bit of shake, a little bit of that movement actually helps. It's really good. But again, they've improved it so much now.
That was like, a beta software.
Yeah,
again.
That was beta still. I was making these tutorials with beta. So anyway, this was the first one where we put, we did it for its purpose, and we put a 2D, which it was a 2D hologram into a scene in three-dimensional space. They provided me with the hologram, and I just put, I keyed myself out, put myself in the hologram, placed it on top of a phone, and this was honestly, my mind was blown doing this one too, because I was like, dude, it stuck so well. It stuck on that phone. I was like, how? I didn't even understand how it worked. I'm keeping my cool, and I'm like trying to be all professional, like, you know, to locate M-Tracker 3D, go in motion.
Like, how is this possible? If you saw him in person, he would call me if I wasn't there and be like, dude, you will not believe how good this is. Look at it. It's not slipping at all.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I like start jumping up and down and clapping my hands.
He does, and kind of all of us do, because it's crazy.
And we get excited. We love what we do.
Yeah.
All right. So this next one is
I was going to say we could probably skip this one because it's basically the same.
It's basically the same thing, but if you can see the screenshot, this is the one where I actually did a tutorial and we used some trackers and stuff. Now that we've done it, I think we might have had better results to even just don't even worry about the tracker. Like, I think that the tracker helped a little, but I think what helped more is on this right side is all this junk and stuff you see. That's going to help the tracker more than these points, if you can see it. But yeah, I was in the catacombs.
It's pretty similar to the first one.
Dude,
just with
this one was so fun. Oh my God, dude. I still feel that.
Hello, everyone.
George likes to hurt himself during these.
Gavin filmed this one.
Yep, he did.
With his camera.
Today, I'm going to show you how to do this. Jump into yourself using M-Tracker 3D.
Again, this was a concept. I had never done it before until I did the tutorial.
Bro, this is pre your new microphone. I can hear the difference.
Yeah. I had to practice my karate kicks for this video. All right, here we go. Oh, man. That was
Man, that was way earlier than I thought.
I actually did ADR for that.
Yep.
Because I was jumping around. So in this video, I'm jumping into myself. If you are familiar with Tuscaloosa at all, this was shot out at the Capitol Park ruins. But if you're not familiar, there's kind of these stone ruins and pillars and stuff around me. And what's happening is there is me floating in midair, and then the real me jumps into myself and the fake me disappears. It's kind of cool. It's kind of popular. You've seen it on like music videos and stuff like that before.
Yeah, if you watch it, it's like you just get it. It just makes sense. Honestly, if you're listening to this, just take time, go to Seed Creative's YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
And go to, it's called All George Edmondson's Intros for MotionVFX. Just type that, you'll find it.
Yep.
You should watch it. You can watch along with us, or you can watch it ahead of time. Either way, it's only 5 or 6 minutes long.
Yeah, because it's only the intros, and that was as of February.
Yeah, we have more.
We've got way more
about
now. Way more. So anyway, this one was super fun. And again, this was all concept. I had never done it. until we went and filmed it.
Did they ask you for this
Nope.
specific thing, or you just had an idea?
I had an idea. Dude, this is what I love about MotionVFX. Sometimes they come and they say, here's what we're thinking, and that's it. And they just say, but the catacombs was my idea, the hologram was my idea, this was my idea, the paintball was my idea. Like, basically, it's all, they just say, here's the plugin, go have fun. That's literally what they say. And they just let us be creative and do whatever we want.
Yeah, because they believe in what creators are going to do with their stuff.
Yep.
Which is like, I mean, that's their whole business essentially is,
Yeah.
They have to, but I think they understand that if they give us kind of not completely free reign, but like, creative control over a lot of it, they know that it'll come out better because it's idea sharing rather than them telling us what to do.
Yeah.
Which
I
also
mean,
works.
I would say that we literally have a 99.9% freedom to do whatever we want with MotionVFX.
And that has grown over time because they've trusted us
Yeah.
a lot over this year. At this point, yeah, it's about them.
They literally send us the plugin and say, go make something fun. And because they know that they can trust us, because I know that I'm always going to want to do a good job because I want to keep them around. And then, and they know that. And so they're like, all right, here, like we just did one recently. It was like an 80s nostalgic plugin. And I didn't even tell them what we were going to do. And I got to surprise them with what we did, which we'll talk about shortly. But it just released today.
Okay, I was about to say, when is it?
It just released today.
Okay.
So let's move ahead. So the next one that we did was the paintball.
Oh, this is a big one.
That was a big one. And this was the first one where the main person that I work with at MotionVFX named Anya actually said, I'm not sure how you did that. And that was pretty cool because they are their plugins. And she was like, I'm not really sure what. And now, as soon as she saw the video or the tutorial, she's like, oh, okay. And she could have done it in her sleep. She's way more talented than I am. But it was one of those things where it's like, it was a head scratcher. So,
it blew my mind. Yeah, I wasn't there for the filming of this. And when I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah, this was fun. So the idea, and again, I had never done, we just were like, it was a concept and I trusted the plugins to work. I spent a good bit of money on this video and it paid off.
Yeah,
MotionVFX pays us and then I use that as our budget to make these videos.
We're ideas people and we're definitely not plugin creators, just to be clear. Like I'm
glad you said that.
Yeah.
We don't know how they make these plugins.
No clue. I mean, the closest thing that we understand the most is M Tracker 3D, but that's just because we got to see it through.
Yeah, but I don't know how we don't
10%
code stuff.
of the process.
Yeah. We don't code stuff. Like, I understand how to build stuff in Motion 5, but they're
on like 7 levels.
Oh my gosh! Like, I can't even comprehend how they are that smart. All right, here we go. Check this out. I love this one because it's got metal music. All right, so Jacob has ran and jumped. Now he's floating in midair. He slow motion shoots a paintball. We are following this paintball in three-dimensional space in slow motion as if we're watching what's about to happen. Bam! And then a paintball hits me in the chest and splatters. Dude, that was a pretty detailed and in-depth tutorial. That one took a long time.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that might be the longest tutorial I've done other than the live event stuff I've done.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about these M-Tracker ones is we didn't have as much of a deadline for these, so we really dug in hard on them because M-Tracker, we get it 6 months.
Yeah, we got it pretty. It was probably 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, so October is when it came out.
I don't remember.
Came out in the fall.
Yeah, I think so.
Came out in the fall, and we had it months before that. So our job was to promote it. Our job was to find. So these ideas that we had, we could really make them detailed like this. So,
dude, that one was amazing.
I think we should watch it again.
You want to watch it one more time?
One more time.
Yeah. Now that you understand what's going on,
we're never going to be able to explain this one, so I think we should watch it again. And if you really want to understand, you got to watch
the tutorial.
It's like 25 minutes long.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Oh, and the text floating. I forgot. So we did some rotoscoping to put the text behind Jacob there.
So good.
And we used M Film Look for the dreamy look in slow motion. And I reversed the music and made it weird sounding. Bam! Dude, I love that splattered. It's pink all over me.
Edmondson with MotionVFX.com.
Didn't you ruin?
Today
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna show you how
got. You got stuff on the BTS camera. Remember?
Yeah, I got paintball.
Paintball got shot on the C200.
Yep, it did. Okay, so the next one.
This is actually one of my personal favorites. This next one,
because you shot it.
not just because I shot. No, I shot a lot of them. I helped shoot a lot of them. This one, I knew that a lot of people were gonna watch.
Oh yeah,
and because it was for
the Final Cut Pro Global Summit,
and it was just the biggest deal. Like I don't know. It was just crazy that we were even doing this.
Well, we were right after Apple.
Yeah.
So Apple was live at Apple Park, and then it went to our video.
None of us slept that night, I'm pretty sure, the night before, even though we had already recorded the hard part.
Right.
Did you even go live? You answered questions live.
I think I answered questions, but we
switched
pre-did the tutorial and everything because, again, this was still in beta.
Yeah, it took, I mean, it was, again, this was probably like the 8th version of beta that we had gotten at this point. They would send us new updates like once a week at least.
Right.
And I don't know, something about this one was just, I think it looks so good.
It does.
It's just, it worked so perfectly, and we did it like pretty quickly too.
I'll always beat myself over the head though because I forgot to add a shadow on the icon drop zone. The easiest fix. It could have taken 2 seconds, and I totally forgot to do it, and that haunts me to this day because people call that out. They say, "What about the shadow on the icon?" And I'm like, "Crap, they're right. They are right. I screwed up." Oh well, whatever.
Anyway, watch it.
Hello, my name is George Edmondson with MotionVFX.com. Welcome to the Final Cut Pro 10 Global Creative Summit. We've got a lot of really interesting things to show you from MotionVFX.
Yeah, that is pretty
So let's get started.
Yeah, dude. So with this one, the camera is walking towards me. It's a big, beautiful, wide open shot. There is all this grass and all these trees around me, beautiful blue skies. But I knew, and I talked to Nick about this, we needed something that was going to be really big and wide open because we wanted this big, bold text to be in our scene. And I wanted to shoot it where I knew the shadows were going to be really long. So we waited till the end of the day.
Yeah, and this is where we should talk about. These videos are very quick, but the pre-production,
Dude,
even though it's short, we planned them so hard. We drove around for, I believe, 2 hours trying to find this location.
Just to make, and I knew the location was down there, but I was like, is that where we want to do it? We
shot 6 other places.
Yeah, we shot other places. That's right. I forgot about that. We shot in other locations so that we would know like which one is the best one. So that is something that I hope viewers of the MotionVFX videos do understand. When you see this video and it's 30 seconds,
we didn't just walk outside and go, "Oh, let's just shoot."
Yeah, there was intent behind everything that we do.
I would say every tutorial basically is one entire day worth of stuff.
Oh yeah,
not
for
counting
sure.
the editing.
Not counting the editing and me going back and forth and making revisions and stuff. So yeah, like we spend a good amount of time on these, even if they are 20 to 30 seconds long. But dude, I do love this one. I think that we nailed the light. I think the shadows are amazing. Other than the fact,
I would have never noticed,
dude.
It's because I helped you with it. So
I'm so mad at myself.
And actually, quick funny story about this tutorial. There's another one too that we did, and it might be right after this, but for motion, because this one was for Final Cut. And
oh yeah, here it is. The one where the spaceship.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a second. But for these, we were live streaming this, and we had it set up to basically use a MacBook as another camera and a switcher.
Yeah.
And we were testing it ahead of time. Thank God,
dude, thank God.
And we were looking through it, and for whatever reason, the MacBook was doing this weird glitch where the color was way off, and it looked terrible. And we were about to go live in 30 minutes before Apple.
It was oversaturated and it was over contrast.
So rather, we didn't know we didn't have time to change the setup. That was impossible.
That was it. Yeah,
we did not have.
We were going live in 30 minutes.
We re-exported this, and I believe we plugged the computer in 5 minutes before it was time.
So here's what we did. We don't know. We still don't know.
We don't use that MacBook anymore anyway.
For some reason, the output into the Blackmagic ATEM Mini was creating this over contrast, oversaturated. It was like 3 times harder than what we were seeing was the output.
And it was doing that from the computer. Like, it wasn't the ATEM's fault, because we plugged it into a monitor and it was still like terrible.
Yeah. We don't know what the deal was. So I went in to Final Cut. I brought the whole video clip in, and I essentially desaturated the crap out of it. I made it look like it was in log 3.
It was,
or even log 2.
Yeah,
it was
bad.
super flat.
Yeah, flat.
And then I did just a section to see if it would work. I exported it out, and because of the added contrast and color saturation that was coming out of the MacBook, it looked normal.
The same. It was crazy.
And it was like, dude, oh my God. So we had to export out a 30+ minute, both of them 30+ minute clips in this weird log setting so that the viewer would see it how we saw it originally, which had contrast and color. It fully worked, and people even praised how high of quality ours was, because we were not dropping frames, we were not having any of these issues, and the reason why is because we were going through the ATEM as opposed to just doing a screen capture.
Yeah, because we were going through.
We were playing a video through the ATEM.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was. I'm gonna say the most stressful moment of.
Because we were on the phone with Anya in Poland, and it's like super late over there. They're all staying up late to watch this, and she's like, "Oh my God, this looks terrible." And I was like, "What? Why?" And then we realized that what she was seeing was our biggest fear, which is that it was just over contrast. And she was like, "I don't know what you have to do, but you have to fix this because it looks awful."
But it worked out.
Dude, it worked out, and no one even knew that story until now.
But it was the most, like I said, one of the most stressful moments.
I was freaking out. So the next one is the same thing. So that was the intro for the Creative Summit for the Final Cut Pro tutorial using M-Tracker 3D. This is the intro for the Motion 5 tutorial that we did using M-Tracker 3D and MO2. 3D and MO2 in Motion 5 is a powerful combination. As you can see here, we've got this cube track perfectly in place. And what in the world is that? Mother tracker. That's
Bro,
crazy.
There's a spaceship. That's so crazy.
Just kidding. It's not
I
real.
love this. Watch it take off.
That came from MO2 in Motion 5 with M-Tracker 3D. I guess I'll show you how to do it
We had
now.
to rotoscope a lot.
Maybe they'll take me with them.
Boom! That Joker takes off. Dude, I loved making this one. It was so much fun. Now, this one, I will fully admit, was in full collaboration with Anya at MotionVFX. She helped me with selecting the model and helped with creating a bit more atmosphere and stuff like that around the model. But again, these are our ideas. We said, what if we're walking and here, let me skip ahead. Hold on. What if you're walking and we'll show a cube that kind of matches and looks like it's part of the scene here? And it's like, yeah, that's kind of impressive. And then we blow everyone's mind. The camera turns around and it reveals this huge spaceship floating in the distance. And then the spaceship goes and takes off. That was fun. And Nick, you filmed this one too, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, we did this on the same day. Was this the same? This was the same day.
It was at least the same 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah, we worked a little harder on this. This is also the same day that we did the Fabio.
Yep. And that was like 6 months or like 3 months later when that came out.
Yeah, that was a long time later, but we filmed both of those videos in the same day.
Fabio.
So we can move on. This one was so much fun. That was we can skip that one. That was M channel or M8-bit, which was a lot of fun. Oh, here's Fabio.
M channel 8-bit.
Yeah, so here, this tutorial was done. This was filmed on the same day as that other one that we just watched. And I don't know, man. I just made up the name on the fly and it stuck.
I laughed really hard. We actually stood there and debated names for the robot for a while. I wish we had. I don't think we have that footage anymore, but
because I called him Fabio, and then I was like, should we call him Fabio?
Like, Alfie.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? Let's just stick with Fabio. All right, here, let's check this out. Tracker 3D and MO2 in Motion 5 is a powerful combination. As you can see here, my friend Fabio is a robot. Hey, Fabio. Whoa. Hey, you're excited. You want me to show them how to make you? Well, I can show them how to import you and animate you with a
camera tracker. Oh, okay, there you go again. All right, I don't know why I named him Fabio, but I did. This is Fabio, and he and I are gonna show you together how to do this. All right, let's get started.
All right, so one of the big, that next one was so fun.
Yeah.
One of the big purposes of this tutorial was, of course, to show off M-Tracker 3D. Let me skip ahead real quick. Hold on. All right, so you can see it really good there. So was, of course, to show off M-Tracker 3D and MO2, but MO2 had just had an update that included something called a shadow catcher that you could use in conjunction with M-Tracker 3D. So if you are watching this video, I'm sorry if you're not, but there's a flying robot over to my left, and beneath the robot is literally the most realistic, perfect shadow being cast from the robot onto the ground. And that shadow is the reason that this robot looks like it's flying as opposed to being on the ground. It's that perception of that it gives you that, okay, the shadow is below it, obviously it's flying. And so that differentiated this from looking like it was just crawling around on the ground beside me to it's flying over beside me. This one was fun, and again, this was shot on the same day.
Shout out to Tuscaloosa for giving us a super sunny day in the morning, or whatever it was, and then also a cloudy day on the same day. So
yeah, the cloudy day was actually better for what we were trying to do here.
Well, we needed the big shadows for the first thing, so it was like both. It was perfect.
Yep. And okay, yeah, so those shadows from the first one were Final Cut and M-Tracker only, which M-Tracker already had Shadow Catcher. This is using something a little more intense, which is a plugin called MO2, which at the time did not have a Shadow Tracker or a Shadow Catcher until, this update. And so that's why we used that. The next one was fun. This one was silly. We spent a lot of time totally wrecking the hallway and the back room of our studio for this shot.
All right, let's get started.
Dude, that was so much to clean up. We had lights strobing. That was not done in post. And then, bam, we borrowed some Christmas lights, which I still need to return. And we had them on, what did we have? We had sliders. Remember?
We went and bought sliders that were plugged into the dimmer switches.
And poor Gavin is crouching in the corner. He's clicking the button and making the fog come out of the fog machine. And he's taking his two hands and sliding because we needed them to not glitch at the same time. We needed it to look like two separate glitches. So he's sliding both strands with his thumbs to get these Christmas lights.
Yeah, shout out to Gavin for always doing the hardest job.
Yeah.
I feel like he always squeezes into the small places and picks up stuff.
Well, it's because he's smaller than all of us.
Yeah, but he's really the goat when it comes to this kind of stuff. So anyway,
it's true. Yeah, so I want to watch now that you understand this a little bit. So, and we had our friend Alejandro or Alex or whatever he wants me to call him. I always get his name wrong every time. He was there helping out with this. He shot a little bit of behind the scenes.
And he flickered the lights.
Yeah, so that's him behind Nick. Nick is using the C200 on the Ronin, and he is sitting there flicking lights because we were going for a Stranger's Thing vibe. So let's watch that one more time. Yeah, so that's him flicking the lights on and off. And then we had the aperture doing the flicking there. And then there's Gavin. Dude, it's so realistic. He did the smoke.
The smoke looks awesome.
Yep.
It's real smoke.
Today, I'm going to show you a brand new plugin called Untitled Movie.
Oh, my God. This was the first video where I really got to be silly. No, I take that back. The Ruins was where I really got to be silly. But this one, I got to do the... That was pretty funny. All right, dude, we can keep going. Like, oh my God,
okay, this is my favorite, absolute favorite.
Is
one.
it really?
Yes,
because it was probably the sketchiest.
No, okay. Let me just I know I say this a lot, but George really does call me with the weirdest things. He gave me a phone call and he was like, "What?"
Hold on. Are you ever surprised now at this point?
No, I was never surprised after. Honestly, after you called me about getting MotionVFX as a client,
yeah,
I was like, after that, it was like,
Of course,
Yeah.
of course, we're about to go film a big explosion.
Yeah, so he calls me and goes, "Hey, what are you doing today?" And I was like, "Working for you." "Oh, yeah, probably." And he was like, "Yeah, sweet. You should probably wear some jeans. Are you cool with explosions?" I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay, well, I have this family friend that I know that owns a coal mine, and they're gonna blow some stuff up, and we're gonna film it and track something onto it." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Bring your drone, bring all this." Anyway, so long story short, we filmed an explosion that I flew my drone into.
I can't even remember how many tons of explosives it was. It was pretty epic though.
10,000?
They're blowing up half like a part of a side of a mountain to like extract coal
It's
and stuff
crazy.
like that.
It was Just
So
watch
this is it. Now this is in conjunction with a plugin, M-Tracker 3D again, but we used M-Kaboom, which is a compositing plugin that does explosions and stuff like that. MotionVFX.com, we're always trying to make plugins that will make a big impact on our customers. Oh yeah. Like this. Dude, I love it. Like this. Hey guys, I don't
sheesh.
Let me say this. That sound of that explosion was only minorly added. That was a lot of that was the real explosion. We better go. They're going to get pissed. So a lot of that was the real explosion. So all that sound afterward that sounds like a fountain, that is a fountain of rocks and dirt. With this, we only had one take.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You read my mind. One take. We practiced this, but George is really good at on the fly. We didn't plan this super hard in terms of what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, just do it. Well, I'm just gonna say something. They had all these alarms going off, and they were like, this alarm is gonna go off, and then you have 10 seconds because that means we hit the button. And in 10 seconds, that explosion's going to happen.
And we nailed it.
And I'm sorry, but we nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, we really did nail it. You filmed this one, too.
Yeah, we were about to, like, chest bump after this. Because we were so, like, it was so much fun, but we were like, this is our only chance.
This is our only shot. Because we did one other explosion that was, like, kind of wimpy, honestly. And
we say that like we explode things every day, but it was still really cool.
It was wimpy in comparison to this one.
Yeah, this is like
And I didn't do. Oh yeah, I started way too early.
Yeah, and he messed it up.
Yeah, I did. I totally screwed the other one up. I was like, oh guys, what are we gonna do? Hey guys, I don't know what to do. I said it like for like 15 seconds.
So they told us, oh well, that was the small explosion.
We're gonna have another one later. I was like, oh thank God.
And then that was cool too. That actually part of that made it into our BTS video, which not to keep plugging a seed, but I actually recommend watching because it's pretty cool. And anyway, they were like, yeah, we're a big explosion in the afternoon. We're like, okay, we'll go get lunch and come back. And the thing is that I think the most intimidating thing about this was we had no idea. They gave us a general idea. They gave us we zoomed in on our cameras to see where the explosion was going to be, but we had no idea how big it was going to be.
Yeah. Nope.
So we were like, all right, throw the 15 on the red.
So it'll be a really wide
shot and hope for the best, honestly.
Yeah. And dude, it worked out. I mean, I think that it went well. And I think that luckily the timing, the reaction, I knew that I was going to act like when I pressed the button that it would not explode. So that we knew, but I had no idea how much time it was going to be. So my whole idea was, okay, I'm going to act like it hits. I'm going to turn around, look, act like it hits again, and then I'm going to start smacking it and saying, guys, I don't think this is working. And I was just going to stand as still as possible and keep doing that because I was like, if it takes longer, we can just hope for the best and morph cut. So that was my goal. But luckily, I did it for like half a second, 2 seconds, and then it goes, boom!
There's no cuts in this.
And I was like, and the sad thing is I didn't get to see the explosion because it happens behind me.
I didn't really either, honestly.
Because you were so focused on me, probably. But yeah, that was fun and it worked out. Oh, and we ended up doing, just as a thank you, we ended up doing some drone footage and videos for our friends that run the coal mine. And so that's all that we have. So I want to show them the one that we have the where is it? Where is it?
M title
Cinematic 2. All right. Yeah, dude. This one is pretty epic. I'm not going to lie.
I wasn't on this one either.
Huh?
I hate being in school.
You missed out on this one.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Unfortunately, yeah, hold on. We'll just wait for this to up. Unfortunately, a lot of times I have to miss some of these because of school, but
yeah.
I was kidding. I don't hate school.
All right. So here's the thing, though, is you helped with getting the prop for it.
That's true. Yeah. And we're still sort of working on a bigger video that involves said prop. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we're getting to it. It's a slow process, but so we bought a legit movie prop fake gun.
It's so cool that I get nervous driving around with it in my car because it looks fully like an M4A1 assault rifle.
Yeah.
It's insane. I always put it in the trunk because I mean it has the orange thing on the end. Anyway, it's insane.
It's a little scary looking, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous walking around downtown Tuscaloosa in a trench coat
with a briefcase,
with sunglasses on. It's pitch black outside with a briefcase and this huge gun in my trench coat.
Good thing is we're friends with the police, so worst case scenario, but still.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was still probably sketchy looking. No one saw, that's the good thing is no one saw the fake gun. We were pretty smart and wise with that. I wasn't just flashing it. I used it at where we were kind of a secluded area and stuff whenever you see the gun in the shot. But the whole idea here is we're trying to make some sort of a cinematic movie or show intro, and we're showing off the titles. And to do that, we have this awesome epic background of me just walking around downtown with a briefcase, which you later find holds the tutorial.
That is my favorite transition from tutorial.
Yeah, me too.
When I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh.
And again, this was all our idea. They gave us the plug-in and they were like, make something cool, and this is what we came up with.
And this is Untitled Cinematic 2, just to be clear.
So if you search Untitled Cinematic 2 tutorial, then you can find this video.
But I'm sure, what else did you use for this? Did you use M-Film Look, I'm assuming?
Yep. Yeah. So we used M-Film Look, we used M-Title Cinematic 2, and we used one of the zoom transitions to go into the tutorial.
See,
this one's a little long. This is the longest intro we've done. It's 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Most of them are less than a minute.
So we'll describe it as we go because this one has a lot less audio.
Yeah, and it's only music.
Yeah, I'll describe it. So it opens up with George walking up a staircase. And he's basically just going to walk around downtown for a couple minutes in a variety of shots.
Yeah,
and
mostly ambient light, too. Yeah. We did bring a light, but most of this is just the natural light.
And what we're focusing on here, if you couldn't tell, is the titles, because that was the plugin. And right. I think you made it work super well. How much did you look at it ahead of time?
I mean, I looked at it for probably an hour because, all right, so look, I'm just going to go ahead and pause it. Let's back up for a second. So there were some intentional shots. This shot was fun. Let me just say this. I want to say, so there's a clock behind me, but I'm looking at my wristwatch.
I didn't even notice that.
And there were just little things that we did, but I was looking at the way that the titles are set up and the lines that they have. And so in this next scene, you see the title is kind of at an angle, and I did that so that I could show off the on-screen controls, how easy it is to place titles at angles, and you don't have to go into the inspector to do it, stuff like that. And then we move forward, and this is probably my favorite one. I knew that there was this kind of big boxy title that kind of opens up, and there's this huge bay door on this super industrial old looking building in downtown. There's all these boxes and squares, all these windows, this big bay door, all of that this title just fits perfectly inside of, and I'm walking beneath it. And so again, it might not always look or feel this way, but we're very intentional with our shots, with the locations we use, the way that we frame it, because we're shooting it for the plugin. and not the other way around.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, all right, let's keep going. Yeah, I love that one. Jacob actually shot this one. You know, I work with him on shot selection. Yeah, that one was cool.
So there's big variety in titles for the listeners.
Yep. And I walk up to like this abandoned location. I'm getting frustrated because I'm waiting on someone. And then we go to this kind of first person view. So this was, I don't know why, but for some reason, I know that it switches a little here, but the feeling I wanted was almost like a video game. Like, you know, there have been these cinematic video game intros and stuff, but it's like the camera is now the person, and that's why we switch the angle as well to make it feel like you're no longer watching a scene, you are in the scene, you're the person. So the camera's gonna walk up, I kind of talk directly to the camera, which is supposed to be like a person. They shake their head, they hand me something, etc. So let's watch it.
There you are. Where have you been? All right, whatever. Have you got it? All right, where is it?
That's me being. I was going as hard as I could. I was so scared people were gonna see me. I've got this big old gun in this guy's face.
Was that Gavin's hand?
That was Gavin's hand, yeah. But then Gavin's hand, but Jacob filming, so he had to reach his hand underneath the camera. I take this piece of paper out, set it on fire.
Was the paper blank?
No, we wrote. I think we just wrote like scribble marks on it, so that if anything did show up, it looked like something was on there. Yeah, I love this though, dude. I open the computer, and boom, it goes into
so cool.
It goes into the Final Cut Pro timeline, and it's like the whole time I was holding that was like the secret, and so now like you see the secret of the tutorial. So all right, that's the one I wanted to show. Let's go to the final one, which is the one that just released today.
And if anybody's surprised, I was not there for this.
Oh yeah, you weren't. Dadgummit. One sec. All right, so this is the one that just released today. We are recording this on August 18th, 2021, but this is called M Synthwave Tutorial, and it emulates 80s backgrounds. And Jacob called me the luckiest person that he knows, but I was lucky enough to find a full 1-to-1 remake Back to the Future DeLorean time machine, and the guy freaking works like 3 blocks from our studio. So crazy that we made this work and pulled this off.
It's crazy.
So with this, we bought the gun. We've bought hand grenades for videos. We buy things.
Fake hand grenades.
Well, no, it's real, but it's
fake, real dummy.
Fake real, yeah. And so I bought the Marty McFly hat and the Marty McFly jacket. I went and bought a red shirt that matches his jeans. I couldn't get the shoes in time, and I couldn't get the hoverboard in time, but this guy actually owned a hoverboard as well, so I got to use it. But yeah, this one, dude, this one was a blast to make. And I will say this is the most expensive video we've made so far for MotionVFX in terms of like using our budget to create a video. Yeah. Oh, I didn't full screen the other ones, but oh well.
Hello, my name is George Edmondson with MotionVFX.com. Today we're looking at the brand new plugin.
I love that city line behind it.
Doc, we gotta go. We gotta hurry. Oh wait, we've got all the time.
The music selection is perfect too. So the idea here is like an 80s montage. We're doing these zoom ins, and then boom, we transfer into the digital world. Pretty slick. Yeah, so that was a 45-second intro, and we spent quite a while filming, editing, and putting all that together. But that was it. That was fun. I love Motion VFX. I'm so glad. And we've done so many more videos than even this.
Yeah,
We
there's
can't show
definitely
them
a
all.
big gap from that big video. We'll have to make another update to that.
Yeah, but you need to go and check out Motion VFX tutorials and check out some of the work that we get to do on a weekly basis.
Was the average one video a week?
Yeah, we average about a video a week. So we average 3 to 4 videos per month for Motion VFX.
We just recreated one from the movie Cruella. That was cool.
Yep. Yeah, and it'll probably be released in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
can we not talk about that?
No, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
because it might be released by the time this podcast is out. So
anyway, yeah, it's a super cool tutorial. So yeah.
That's it. Well, again, thank you so much for checking out the Seed Creative Podcast. I hope that this was a fun journey to go along. You get to hear a little bit of backstory to how we started working with Motion VFX, some of the work that we've done for them, how a breakdown on some of these videos. Most of these videos are shot on a combination of the Red Gemini, Blackmagic Pocket Camera 6K, and the Canon C200. And when we shoot the Canon C200, we are always shooting in the Canon RAW. So we are always shooting in either RAW or like a higher quality ProRes out of the Blackmagic. And lenses, most of the time, what we use the 15 millimeter from, what are they called? They make the Laowa 15 millimeter macro. I love my go-to lens is the 24-105 Canon, super great lens.
Yeah, recently Sigma.
The Sigma 18-35 2.8, Canon 50 mil. We use Jacob's lenses a lot. He's got some really good
prime lenses.
primes, Canon primes, and then also Sigma primes.
Yep.
So a variety of stuff, but it's all accessible stuff for the middle tier professional video people. We're not shooting on like a freaking Sony Venice or like the Monstro 8K.
Especially
like the Gemini is more of a middle tier red. So, we are shooting these on accessible cameras to most people.
And I would argue that I don't think even the majority of them were shot on red. I feel like a lot of them are C200 because we do a lot of movement. So it's even more accessible. So
I would say most of them are shot on the C200. But like the Back to the Future one was on the red. Dude, I'm trying to think. Oh, the M-Title cinematic, that was on the red. The ones that we need, like that more movie film look. But yeah, a lot of them are shot on the trusty C200, which, some people could even argue is more of an outdated camera now, but I love it. I love
Not
that
to mention,
camera.
because with the combination of that and M-Film look, I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
It is, because M-Film look is amazing. All right, that's it.
Anyway, thanks for checking us out. And I want a specific comment this time from you guys that watched it. We're going with a one camera setup this time. I want to know what y'all think about it for 2 people. So hit us up with some comments. I'm not sure how many tights there's going to be, but I think it's going to be mostly wide. So tell us if you liked it, and subscribe, comment, check us out on all podcast platforms, all that good stuff. And check us out every Monday for a new episode.
See ya.
Peace.
This podcast was produced by Nick Golden with executive producer George Edmondson, edited by Nick Golden and Gavin Manning. Be sure to subscribe, drop a like and a comment. Tune in every Monday for brand new podcast content, and we'll see you on the next one.